Here we have a spinner that's divided into 7 equal regions numbered from 1 through 7. Now we have to identify the sample space and identify the probability of each event for one spin. So the sample space here is pretty easy. We have the numbers 1 through 7, so we have 7 possibilities here. Alright, let's take a look at part B. To find the probability of spinning a 2. So here, I went ahead and drew a spinner right here, and now we want to find the probability of spinning a 2. So I'm going to shade the probability here. You can see that out of my 7 possibilities, I only have 1 possibility of obtaining a 2, which I shaded in yellow. So I have 1 out of 7 chance of spinning a 2. So I'm going to go ahead and input that in the calculator. And for this example, we're going to get this long decimal here. So we're going to get 0.14 2857 and then 143. Okay, so I'm going to grab my decimal and move it 2 places to the right. 1, 2, and we get a 14 point. Now we're going to round to the nearest tenth, or in other words, we're just going to round the number that's next to that decimal point. And by doing that, we're going to be looking at this 8 right here. So let's go ahead and underline this part. So now to round to the nearest tenth, if this number right here, if it's bigger than 5, that tells the 2 to go up by 1 integer value. If the number is less than 5, then the number stays the same. So because we have an 8 and that 8 is bigger than 5, we're going to round to 3, so 14.3%. So that's going to be the approximation, and that's going to be the probability of spinning a 2. Now we have to find the probability of spinning an odd number. I cleaned up my spinner, and now I'm going to shade every odd number that's inside this spinner. So 1 is odd, 3 is odd, 5 is odd, and 7 is odd. Those are all my possibilities, and I have 4 of them. So the probability here is going to be 4 out of 7. And I'm going to input this in my calculator, and I should get a long decimal again. So this equals 0.57 1428 571. So I'm going to grab my decimal, move it 2 places to the right, 1, 2, and I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. So now here I see that I have a 4, and 4 is less than 5. So that tells me that I'm going to stay at 1. So the approximation here is approximately 57.1%. Okay, let's move on to part D. It says find the probability of spinning a number greater than 4. I cleaned up my spinner once again, and this time I'm going to shade every number that is greater than 4, because that's what I want. So 5 is bigger than 4, 6 is bigger than 4, and 7 is bigger than 4. So here we see that we have 1, 2, and 3 possible ways of spinning something that's greater than 4. So we have a 3 out of 7 chance probability of obtaining this. And we plug that into the calculator. We get a 0.485714. 29. So let's approximate this, rounding to the nearest tenth. So here I go 1, 2 places to the right. So I get 42 point, and then I see that we have a 5 here, and that is telling us to go up by 1 integer, so the 8 becomes a 9. So 42.9% approximately. And that wraps up this problem. So if you have any questions, please email me or message me. Also, you can join me on your assigned Zoom hour. So just pop in, and willing to go over or review some of these topics. So go ahead, finish this assignment, and I'll see you in the next lesson.